Hello there, and welcome to The Sleepy Scientist, a place where curiosity slows down and even the brightest objects in the universe can be explored gently. Tonight we turn our attention to quasars, distant sources of light that have been shining quietly across the cosmos for billions of years. Before we begin, allow yourself to settle into stillness. Let your shoulders relax, your breathing become slow and unforced, and your thoughts soften. There is nothing you need to understand all at once and nothing you need to hold on to. This is simply a moment to listen and rest. Quasars are often described as powerful or extreme, yet when viewed through the lens of cosmic time, they are steady and enduring. They form at the centers of young galaxies, where supermassive black holes are surrounded by vast disks of gas and dust. These disks move in smooth, predictable paths, heating gradually as material settles inward, releasing light that travels calmly through space. The glow of a quasar does not rush. It shines continuously for millions of years, crossing immense distances without effort. When that light reaches us, it carries a quiet record of the early universe, revealing how galaxies grew and how matter slowly organized itself over time. As we continue, we will explore peaceful facts about quasars, focusing on their long lifetimes, their steady emission of light, and the calm physical laws that allow them to exist. These reflections are meant to slow the mind, soften attention, and guide thought gently, without urgency or intensity. If you enjoy these calm journeys through space and science, you're always welcome to subscribe and return whenever you need quiet curiosity or rest. For now, simply listen and allow the distant, patient glow of quasars to fade gently into the background. Let us begin. A quasar exists as a steady source of light rather than a brief event, shining continuously for millions of years without interruption. Although its brightness appears intense, the process that creates it unfolds slowly and predictably, governed by gravity and motion that remain consistent over immense spans of time. At the center of a quasar lies a supermassive black hole that does not act suddenly or aggressively, but patiently gathers surrounding material. Gas and dust drift inward gradually, guided by gravity into smooth circular paths that form a broad, rotating structure around the black hole. The accretion disk surrounding a quasar is not chaotic but highly organized. Material within the disk follows stable orbits, moving at different speeds depending on distance, creating layers of motion that remain balanced and orderly rather than turbulent. As matter moves through the accretion disk, it heats slowly through friction and compression. This heating process builds over time, allowing energy to be released steadily rather than all at once, producing light that remains constant and reliable for long periods. The light emitted by a quasar travels calmly through space, crossing billions of light years without changing direction or intensity abruptly. This journey unfolds quietly, carrying information from the early universe to the present without urgency. Although quasars appear brighter than entire galaxies, this brightness is the result of long-term energy release rather than sudden power. Over millions of years, small amounts of matter are converted into light in a smooth and continuous process. The jets associated with some quasars are shaped and maintained by stable magnetic fields. These fields guide energy outward in narrow, predictable paths, allowing jets to extend calmly across vast distances without disrupting the surrounding cosmic environment. Quasars influence their host galaxies gently over time. Rather than destroying structure, their steady energy output can regulate the movement of gas, shaping how galaxies evolve slowly and evenly across cosmic history. Because quasars are ancient, observing them allows us to look back in time. The light we see today left its source when the universe was much younger, offering a quiet glimpse into early cosmic conditions without revealing sudden change. Viewed as part of the universe's long rhythm, quasars represent endurance rather than intensity. They shine patiently, governed by balance and physical law, existing as calm beacons that illuminate the structure of the cosmos without urgency or demand. A quasar remains active for an exceptionally long span of time, often shining steadily for tens or even hundreds of millions of years. This longevity means that nothing about a quasar is rushed. Its light is the result of a slow, ongoing process that unfolds patiently, allowing the surrounding universe to adjust gently rather than react suddenly. The gravity at the heart of a quasar works in a smooth and predictable way. Matter drawn toward the central black hole follows curved paths that repeat over and over, settling into patterns that remain stable for long periods. This repetition creates consistency, allowing the system to remain calm rather than chaotic. The material surrounding a quasar does not fall inward all at once. Instead, it moves gradually through the accretion disk, losing energy step by step. This slow inward journey allows energy to be released evenly, producing a steady glow rather than sudden flashes of brightness. Quasars radiate across many wavelengths of light, yet this radiation is distributed smoothly over time. Instead of sharp bursts, energy spreads outward continuously, allowing space around the quasar to absorb and respond gently without disturbance. The immense distance between quasars and Earth adds to their calming presence. Their light has travelled for billions of years, crossing empty regions of space where nothing interrupts its path. By the time it reaches us, it carries a sense of quiet endurance shaped by time itself. Quasars are often surrounded by vast halos of gas that move slowly and evenly. These halos act as buffers, softening the quasar's influence and helping maintain balance between the central activity and the wider galaxy. Even when quasars emit powerful jets, these structures remain remarkably stable over long durations. Guided by magnetic fields, the jets follow narrow paths that persist without sudden deviation, reinforcing the sense of order within the system. The presence of a quasar can gently influence star formation within its galaxy. By heating gas slowly, it can regulate when and where stars form, allowing the galaxy to evolve in a balanced and measured way rather than through sudden bursts. Because quasars were more common in the early universe, they provide a calm record of cosmic history. Their light shows how matter organized itself gradually, revealing a universe that evolved through patience rather than rapid change. Seen as part of the larger cosmic pattern, quasars are steady markers of balance. They remind us that even the brightest objects in existence can operate through slow, continuous processes, shining quietly and reliably as the universe unfolds at its own gentle pace. A quasar's brightness remains remarkably consistent over long periods, not because it is forcing energy outward, but because the processes feeding it are balanced and self-regulating. As material enters the accretion disk, some of it slowly spirals inward, while some is gently redirected outward. This exchange keeps the system stable, allowing the quasar to shine without exhausting itself or overwhelming its surroundings. The environment around a quasar is shaped by gradual adjustment rather than reaction. Gas clouds nearby respond slowly to the quasar's steady light, warming gently and shifting position over vast spans of time. These changes occur so gradually that the galaxy remains structurally calm, never pushed into sudden motion or disorder. The rotation of the accretion disk follows precise physical laws that do not change quickly. Each layer of gas moves at a speed determined by its distance from the black hole, creating a smooth gradient of motion. This layered rotation prevents turbulence from building, allowing the disk to remain organized and predictable for millions of years. Quasars contribute to the universe's structure by illuminating space without disturbing it. Their light reveals distant regions of the cosmos, yet it passes through space without altering its calm nature. Photons travel quietly, interacting minimally as they move, preserving the stillness of the vast distances they cross. The mass of the black hole at a quasar's center grows slowly. Even as it feeds, the increase happens over immense timescales, allowing the system to remain in balance. This gradual growth prevents sudden shifts in gravity, keeping nearby orbits stable and undisturbed. Quasar jets, when present, are narrow and focused rather than spreading chaotically. Their direction remains consistent for long periods, guided by magnetic fields that act like steady rails. Because these jets are confined, they do not overwhelm their environment, instead interacting gently with the surrounding medium. The light from a quasar often appears constant because variations happen very slowly. Small changes in brightness unfold over years or decades, far beyond the pace of everyday experience. This slow variability reinforces the sense that quasars are calm, enduring sources rather than flickering or unstable objects. Quasars exist most often in young galaxies, where structure is still forming. Even in these early environments, their presence encourages order rather than disruption. By influencing gas flow gradually, they help shape galaxies into stable forms that persist for billions of years. The distance between quasars and other cosmic structures ensures that their influence spreads thinly. Energy disperses across enormous volumes of space, softening its effect and allowing the universe to remain evenly balanced. Nothing is concentrated enough to create sudden change. Taken together, these qualities reveal quasars as examples of cosmic patience. They shine brightly yet steadily, influence their surroundings gently, and exist comfortably within the universe's long rhythm. Their light becomes a quiet companion to time itself, enduring without urgency as the cosmos continues its slow, peaceful expansion. A quasar maintains its presence through a balance that feels almost self-sustaining, as though the system naturally knows how to remain steady. The inward flow of matter and the outward release of energy settle into a rhythm that does not rush or strain. This balance allows the quasar to exist comfortably for immense spans of time, shining without exhaustion and without sudden change. The space immediately surrounding a quasar is shaped by gradual motion rather than abrupt force. Gas and dust respond slowly to gravity, easing into curved paths that repeat again and again. These paths become familiar over time, forming a predictable environment where nothing moves without reason and nothing needs to accelerate to remain stable. The accretion disk around a quasar behaves like a calm current rather than a storm. Even though the material within it moves quickly, its motion follows clear rules that remain consistent. Each orbit supports the next, creating a layered flow that prevents disruption and allows the system to remain orderly across millions of years. Heat generated within the accretion disk does not surge unpredictably. It builds and releases gradually, spreading outward as light in a smooth and continuous way. This steady release ensures that the surrounding space can absorb the energy gently, without shock or imbalance, preserving a calm cosmic environment. The immense distances between quasars and other galaxies act as a natural softening buffer. Light and radiation spread thinly as they travel, becoming gentler the farther they go. By the time this energy reaches distant regions of space, it has blended into the background, contributing quietly to the universe rather than dominating it. Quasars often exist within large halos of gas that move slowly and evenly. These halos serve as quiet intermediaries, responding to the quasar's light over long timescales. Their motion is subtle, shaped by gravity and pressure that change so slowly they feel almost constant. The relationship between a quasar and its host galaxy is one of long-term cooperation rather than conflict. The quasar's steady output can gently influence gas flow, helping the galaxy settle into a balanced structure. This influence unfolds over millions of years, allowing the galaxy to adapt without strain. Light emitted by a quasar carries a calm record of physical laws at work. Each photon travels in a straight, predictable path, unaffected by emotional urgency. This orderly journey reflects the underlying stability of the universe, where even the brightest light follows simple, consistent rules. Because quasars are so distant, Observing them requires patience rather than immediacy. Their light arrives long after it was emitted, reminding us that the universe operates on timescales far slower than human experience. This delay itself adds to their calming presence, stretching perception gently outward. When viewed within the broader cosmic story, quasars appear not as interruptions but as steady chapters within an ongoing narrative. They illuminate the universe quietly, existing without demand or haste, allowing time to pass around them naturally as galaxies form, evolve, and settle into lasting balance. A quasar remains active not because it is forcing energy outward, but because the conditions around it allow a steady exchange to continue. Matter approaches the central black hole gradually, guided by gravity that works patiently rather than urgently. This slow inflow sustains the quasar's light without creating instability, allowing brightness to persist calmly over immense periods of time. The region near a quasar settles into a predictable structure shaped by long-term balance. Gas clouds adjust their position slowly, responding to light and gravity over thousands or millions of years. These adjustments are so gradual that they feel more like quiet settling than movement, preserving a sense of order throughout the surrounding space. The accretion disk's rotation does not fluctuate wildly. Instead, it follows stable patterns where each orbit supports the next. This layered motion distributes energy evenly, preventing sudden surges or collapses. The result is a system that maintains itself through consistency rather than force. Light leaving a quasar spreads outward in all directions, thinning as it travels. This spreading softens its influence, ensuring that even intense brightness becomes gentle by the time it reaches distant regions. Space absorbs this light naturally, without disturbance, allowing calm to remain intact. Quasars often exist at such great distances that their light feels detached from immediacy. Observing them is like listening to an echo from deep time, one that arrives quietly after travelling for billions of years. This separation from the present moment adds to their soothing quality, reminding us how slowly the universe moves. The magnetic fields near quasars act as quiet organisers rather than disruptive forces. They guide charged particles along smooth paths, shaping jets and flows without turbulence. These fields remain steady for long durations, reinforcing the overall calm structure of the system. Even as matter falls toward the black hole, much of it does so in a controlled and measured way. Friction within the disk releases energy gradually, allowing heat to escape steadily rather than violently. This measured release helps maintain balance throughout the quasar's environment. The surrounding galaxy responds to the quasar's presence gently. Gas may warm slowly or shift position over long spans of time, but nothing happens abruptly. This gentle influence allows the galaxy to evolve in harmony with the quasar rather than reacting against it. Quasars illuminate their surroundings without altering the fundamental calm of space. Light reveals structure but does not demand change. It passes through the cosmos quietly, highlighting distance and scale without disturbing the stillness that defines the vast majority of the universe. Seen within the larger flow of cosmic time, quasars represent sustained presence rather than dramatic action. They shine patiently, guided by steady physical laws, existing comfortably within the universe's long rhythm. Their calm endurance reminds us that even the brightest phenomena can unfold gently, without urgency, as time continues its slow, quiet passage. A quasar remains luminous because its environment sustains a careful balance between motion and rest. Material approaching the central black hole does not rush inward, but settles gradually into stable paths, allowing energy to be released evenly. This balance creates a sense of calm continuity, where brightness is maintained without strain or urgency. The space around a quasar adapts slowly to its steady glow. Gas clouds warm gently, expanding or shifting position over immense spans of time. These changes unfold so gradually that the surrounding galaxy remains composed, never pushed into sudden rearrangement or disruption. The accretion disk itself behaves like a long-established current. Although particles move at great speeds, their motion follows consistent rules that remain unchanged for millions of years. This predictability prevents chaos, allowing the disk to function smoothly as part of a larger balanced system. Energy released from the disk spreads outward in a controlled and continuous way. Rather than bursting outward, it flows steadily as light and radiation that space can absorb naturally. This smooth release allows the universe to remain calm, accommodating the energy without tension. The distance between a quasar and the rest of the universe acts as a gentle filter. As light travels across billions of light years, it spreads and softens, becoming less intense with distance. By the time it reaches other regions, it blends quietly into the cosmic background. Quasars often exist within massive galactic structures that move slowly and predictably. These structures provide stability, allowing the quasar's activity to remain centered and contained. The galaxy and the quasar evolve together, adjusting to one another over long spans of time. Magnetic fields surrounding quasars maintain order without forcing change. They guide particles and shape flows gently, remaining steady rather than fluctuating. Their quiet presence supports structure while allowing the overall environment to remain peaceful. The light from a quasar reveals distant space without disturbing it. Photons pass through vast emptiness with minimal interaction, preserving silence and stillness along their path. This journey emphasizes how observation does not require disruption. Because quasars shine for such long periods, their presence becomes part of the universe's background rhythm. They do not demand attention at any particular moment, but exist steadily, allowing time to pass naturally around them. When considered as part of cosmic history, quasars represent patience rather than intensity. They show how even immense energy can be expressed calmly, guided by balance and time, existing as quiet markers within a universe that moves slowly and gently forward. As a quasar continues its long existence, the surrounding space becomes accustomed to its steady presence. Nothing in the nearby region reacts suddenly to its light or gravity. Instead, everything adjusts slowly, as if the universe has learned how to move comfortably around this constant source of illumination, maintaining calm through familiarity. The flow of matter toward the quasar remains measured and controlled. Gas does not fall inward in a single motion, but progresses gently through curved paths that repeat again and again. This repeated motion creates a sense of rhythm, where each cycle feels similar to the last, reinforcing stability rather than change. The accretion disk maintains its structure through balance rather than force. Inner regions move more quickly, outer regions more slowly, and this gradual shift in speed prevents collisions and disorder. The result is a system that feels organized and settled, capable of lasting for millions of years without disruption. Heat generated near the center of the quasar is released gradually, spreading outward as light in a smooth and predictable way. This steady release allows surrounding space to absorb energy without shock, preserving the quiet nature of the cosmic environment far beyond the quasar itself. As quasar light travels outward, it becomes part of the universe's background glow. Over vast distances, its intensity softens, blending with other ancient light sources. By the time it reaches distant galaxies, it no longer feels like a single origin, but part of a calm, shared illumination. The immense scale of a quasar's lifetime contributes to its peaceful character. While human experience measures time in moments, quasars operate across epochs. This difference in scale removes urgency, allowing their activity to feel slow, patient, and almost timeless. The gravitational influence of a quasar settles into equilibrium with its host galaxy. Stars and gas continue their long-established orbits, unaffected by sudden shifts. This quiet coexistence allows the galaxy to evolve smoothly, guided by steady forces rather than dramatic events. Even the regions far beyond a quasar feel its presence only faintly. Energy disperses evenly across space, becoming so subtle that it simply adds to the overall balance of the cosmos. Nothing is overwhelmed, and nothing is pulled out of alignment. Observing quasars invites a slower way of thinking about the universe. Their light reminds us that what we see now began its journey billions of years ago, travelling patiently through silence. This long journey itself becomes part of the calm story they tell. In this way, quasars exist not as moments of intensity, but as long-lasting companions to cosmic time. They shine steadily, influence gently, and persist without demand, offering a quiet example of how immense systems can remain calm when guided by balance and enduring physical law. As a quasar continues its long, steady life, the space around it settles into a state of familiarity. The surrounding galaxy adapts to the quasar's presence over immense spans of time, allowing light and gravity to become part of the background, rather than something that requires reaction. This long-term adjustment creates an environment where nothing feels new or disruptive, only calmly sustained. The material orbiting near a quasar moves in patterns that repeat reliably. Each rotation follows the last with almost no variation, guided by gravity that remains constant. This repetition gives the system a sense of rhythm, where motion feels predictable and reassuring rather than uncertain or demanding. The energy released by a quasar does not arrive all at once. It emerges continuously, spreading outward in a smooth flow that space absorbs naturally. This gradual release prevents sharp contrasts, allowing brightness to exist without overwhelming its surroundings and helping the cosmos maintain equilibrium. The distance between a quasar and other galaxies acts as a gentle buffer. As light travels across vast stretches of space, it thins and softens, becoming quieter with every passing moment. By the time it reaches distant regions, it feels like a faint echo rather than a force, blending easily into the universal glow. The accretion disk remains stable because its motion is shared evenly across layers. Inner regions move faster, outer regions slower, and this gentle gradient prevents turbulence. Each layer supports the next, creating a system that can persist calmly for millions of years. Quasar jets, when present, remain narrow and consistent in direction. Their stability comes from steady magnetic fields that do not fluctuate wildly. Because these jets follow fixed paths, they interact with surrounding space slowly and predictably, never disturbing the larger balance. The host galaxy evolves alongside the quasar at a relaxed pace. Gas may warm slightly or shift position over long periods, but these changes are gradual enough that the galaxy remains composed. This shared evolution allows both structures to coexist peacefully. Light from a quasar carries a quiet message about the early universe. It reveals conditions that existed billions of years ago without forcing those conditions into the present. This gentle transmission of information allows understanding without urgency. The immense timescale of a quasar's activity encourages patience in observation. Nothing about a quasar demands immediate attention. Its presence is constant, allowing curiosity to rest rather than rush toward conclusions. In the larger story of the cosmos, quasars serve as steady companions to time itself. They shine calmly, governed by balance and repetition, reminding us that even the most luminous objects can exist quietly when allowed to follow the universe's slow and gentle rhythm. As a quasar continues to shine across immense spans of the cosmic time, its presence becomes something the surrounding universe quietly accommodates. Space does not react sharply to its light or gravity. Instead, everything nearby settles into long-term balance, allowing the quasar to exist as a steady feature rather than a changing event. The matter drawn toward the quasar follows paths that remain consistent over millions of years. Gas spirals inward slowly, tracing curved routes that repeat again and again. This repetition creates a sense of calm reliability, where motion feels familiar and expected, never rushed or unstable. The accretion disk surrounding the quasar maintains its shape through gradual motion rather than forceful interaction. Each layer moves at a pace suited to its position, preventing collisions and allowing energy to be released smoothly. This layered flow supports a system that can endure for vast periods without disruption. Light leaving a quasar spreads outward evenly, thinning gently as it crosses space. There is no sudden drop or surge in brightness, only a gradual softening as distance increases. This steady spread allows the universe to remain quiet and undisturbed, absorbing light naturally into the background. The immense age of a quasar contributes to its peaceful character. While individual moments pass unnoticed, millions of years accumulate quietly. This scale of time removes any sense of urgency, allowing the quasar's activity to feel slow, patient, and almost timeless. The gravitational influence of a quasar blends smoothly with that of its host galaxy. Stars continue their long-established orbits, and gas clouds drift gently without being pulled into sudden change. This harmony allows the galaxy to evolve steadily, guided by forces that remain balanced. Magnetic fields near a quasar act as calm organizers rather than disruptive agents. They guide charged particles along stable paths, shaping flows gently without creating turbulence. Their influence remains consistent, reinforcing order without demanding motion. The space surrounding a quasar often becomes a region of predictability. Temperatures stabilize, pressures equalize, and motion settles into a steady background drift. In this environment, change unfolds so slowly that it feels almost indistinguishable from rest. The light we receive from quasars today has traveled silently through space for billions of years. Along the way, it passed through vast regions where nothing altered its course. This long, quiet journey adds to the sense that quasars communicate with the universe patiently rather than urgently. Within the broader rhythm of the cosmos, quasars exist as long-lasting companions to time. They shine steadily, influence gently, and persist without demand, offering a calm reminder that even the most luminous phenomena can unfold peacefully when guided by balance and enduring physical law. As a quasar continues through the later stages of its long existence, its activity feels increasingly settled into routine. The flow of matter toward the central black hole becomes more measured, not because anything is ending, but because the system has reached a comfortable balance. In this phase, the quasar's light feels less like an event and more like a constant background presence, steady and reassuring. The surrounding space grows accustomed to the quasar's influence. Gas clouds and stars respond only slowly, their motions shaped over immense periods of time. Nothing reacts suddenly, and nothing is forced into change. Instead, the environment adjusts gently, allowing calm coexistence between the quasar and the wider galaxy. The accretion disk continues its quiet rotation, maintaining its layered structure through predictable motion. Inner regions remain warm and luminous, while outer regions move more slowly, providing balance. This gentle gradient of motion prevents instability, allowing the disk to persist without strain or disruption. Light emitted during this stage travels outward with the same patience it always has. Photons leave the quasar and cross the universe without awareness of distance or destination. Their journey unfolds silently, carrying information across billions of years in a way that feels calm rather than dramatic. The immense distances involved soften every effect. By the time quasar light reaches far regions of space, it has spread so thinly that it blends naturally into the cosmic background. This thinning ensures that even sustained brightness becomes gentle, preserving the overall quiet of the universe. The gravitational presence of the quasar remains steady and predictable. It does not grow suddenly stronger or weaker, allowing nearby orbits to remain stable. Stars and gas continue their slow paths, unaffected by abrupt shifts, reinforcing the sense of long-term equilibrium. Magnetic fields associated with the quasar maintain their quiet order. They guide particles smoothly, shaping flows without turbulence. These invisible structures remain constant, helping preserve stability while allowing the surrounding space to remain undisturbed. As time stretches onward, the quasar's contribution to its galaxy becomes fully integrated. Energy output and matter flow settle into patterns that the galaxy accommodates naturally. This integration allows both the quasar and its host to evolve together without conflict or urgency. The act of observing a quasar at this stage feels like witnessing endurance rather than change. The light arriving now left its source long ago, yet it arrives calmly, unchanged by its journey. This persistence emphasizes the slow, patient nature of cosmic processes. In this later chapter of a quasar's life, everything about its existence reflects continuity. Nothing rushes toward an ending and nothing demands renewal. The quasar shines steadily, guided by balance and time, existing as a quiet constant within a universe that prefers patience, stability, and gentle progression over sudden transformation. As a quasar continues beyond the most active stages of its long life, its presence becomes even more settled within the rhythm of its galaxy. The flow of matter toward the central black hole remains steady but unhurried, shaped by gravity that has changed very little over immense spans of time. In this phase, the quasar feels less like a source of activity and more like a calm, enduring feature of the cosmic landscape. The surrounding space responds to the quasar with quiet acceptance. Gas clouds maintain their slow motions, and stars continue along stable orbits that do not require adjustment. Nothing in the environment needs to react quickly because the conditions remain familiar and predictable. This long-term stability allows the region to feel composed and at ease. The accretion disk persists as a smooth, layered structure. Each region moves according to simple physical rules that remain constant, allowing energy to be released evenly. There are no sharp changes in brightness or motion, only a steady continuation that supports balance throughout the system. Light emitted during this stage travels outward just as calmly as before. It does not weaken suddenly or surge unexpectedly. Instead, it spreads gradually across space, thinning gently as distance increases. This gradual spread allows light to become part of the universe's background glow without disturbing its quiet nature. The immense scale of time involved continues to soften every process. Millions of years pass without noticeable change, allowing the quasar's activity to feel timeless rather than dynamic. This extended duration removes urgency entirely, leaving only continuity and persistence. The gravitational influence of the quasar remains stable and well integrated with its host galaxy. It does not pull material inward aggressively, nor does it lose its guiding presence. This balance allows nearby structures to remain undisturbed, reinforcing a sense of calm order. Magnetic fields near the quasar continue their subtle work, guiding charged particles along smooth paths. Their influence is gentle and consistent, shaping motion without creating turbulence. These unseen forces quietly support the system's long-term stability. As the quasar ages, its energy output becomes a familiar part of the galaxy's environment. Gas and dust respond slowly, adjusting over vast spans of time. This gradual adaptation allows the galaxy to evolve peacefully, without sharp transitions or disruption. The light we observe from this stage of a quasar's life carries a sense of quiet endurance. It left its source long ago and arrives now without urgency, unchanged by the distance it has travelled. This steady arrival reflects the patience built into cosmic processes. In this later phase, the quasar stands as a reminder of sustained balance. It continues to shine not because it must, but because the conditions around it remain aligned. Guided by simple laws and immense time, it exists calmly within the universe, offering a steady presence that asks for nothing and changes very little as the cosmos continues its gentle unfolding. As a quasar moves deeper into its long existence, the balance that sustains it becomes increasingly subtle. The flow of matter toward the central black hole continues at a pace so steady that it feels almost suspended in time. Nothing accelerates, nothing slows abruptly. The system simply maintains itself, allowing light to be produced calmly without strain or excess. The surrounding region of space reflects this stability. Gas clouds nearby hold their shapes gently, responding only to slow changes in gravity and temperature. These responses unfold over spans of time so large that they feel more like gradual settling than motion, reinforcing the quiet nature of the environment around the quasar. The accretion disk remains smooth and organized, with each layer maintaining its place in the overall structure. Inner regions continue to glow softly as energy is released, while outer regions move more slowly, providing balance. This layered harmony prevents disruption and allows the disk to persist comfortably over millions of years. Light leaving the quasar during this stage carries no urgency. Photons depart steadily, following straight paths through vast expanses of space. Their journey is silent and uninterrupted, shaped only by distance and time, which gently soften their presence as they travel farther from their source. The immense timescale of a quasar's life becomes especially apparent here. What might appear as activity is actually continuity stretched across epochs. Years, centuries, and millennia pass without noticeable change, allowing the quasar's presence to feel constant rather than dynamic. Gravity remains a quiet guide, holding matter in loose alignment without pulling it inward aggressively. This gentle influence ensures that orbits remain stable and predictable, allowing stars and gas in the host galaxy to continue their long-established paths without disturbance. Magnetic fields near the quasar persist in a calm and uniform state. They guide charged particles along smooth, invisible routes, shaping motion gently without creating turbulence. These fields act quietly, reinforcing order while allowing stillness to remain dominant. The energy output of the quasar blends fully into the galaxy's background conditions. It no longer stands out as a defining feature, but becomes part of the steady environment that shapes slow galactic evolution. This blending allows the galaxy to remain balanced, adapting without urgency. The light we receive from such a quasar feels like a quiet message from deep time. It arrives unchanged by its long journey, carrying information without demanding attention. This gentle arrival encourages a slower way of thinking, one that matches the universe's patient pace. In this phase, the quasar exists as a symbol of endurance rather than intensity. It continues to shine not through force, but through balance maintained over vast spans of time. Guided by simple physical laws and immense patience, it remains a calm presence within the universe, steady and unhurried as everything else continues to move slowly around it. As a quasar continues through this extended phase of its life, its presence becomes deeply familiar to the space around it. The steady flow of matter toward the central black hole proceeds at a pace that feels almost motionless when measured against human time. This slow movement creates an environment where nothing feels urgent, and the system maintains itself through quiet persistence rather than active change. The surrounding galaxy responds to the quasar with long-term accommodation rather than reaction. Gas clouds adjust their positions gradually, guided by gravity that shifts only over immense spans of time. These adjustments are so subtle that the galaxy appears calm and settled, as though it has learned how to coexist comfortably with the quasar's steady light. The accretion disk remains smooth and well-ordered, its structure preserved by consistent physical laws. Each layer continues its rotation without interruption, releasing energy evenly as material moves inward. This regularity allows the disk to remain stable, avoiding turbulence and preserving balance across millions of years. Light leaving the quasar during this period travels outward with the same patience that defines all cosmic motion. It spreads gently through space, thinning gradually as distance increases. There are no sudden changes in brightness, only a slow softening that allows the light to merge seamlessly with the universe's background glow. Time itself seems to slow in the presence of such endurance. The quasar's activity does not mark moments or milestones, but instead stretches continuously across epochs. This extended duration removes any sense of beginning or ending, allowing existence to feel ongoing and complete. Gravity continues to guide matter quietly, maintaining stable orbits and gentle alignment. It neither pulls material inward aggressively, nor allows it to drift away. This balance keeps the region composed, allowing stars and gas to continue their slow paths without disruption. Magnetic fields persist as subtle frameworks woven through the quasar's environment. Their influence remains even and restrained, guiding charged particles smoothly without creating disturbance. These unseen structures help preserve order while allowing stillness to remain the dominant experience. The energy released by the quasar becomes fully integrated into the galactic environment. Rather than standing out, it contributes quietly to the conditions that shape slow evolution. This integration allows the galaxy to change gradually, without sharp transitions or instability. The light arriving from this stage of a quasar's life carries the calm imprint of deep time. It has travelled for billions of years without interruption, crossing vast regions of silence. Its arrival feels gentle, offering information without urgency or demand. In this phase, the quasar exists as a steady companion to the universe's long rhythm. It continues to shine through balance rather than force, remaining present without insisting on change. Guided by enduring physical laws and immense patience, it holds its place quietly within a cosmos that prefers continuity, calm, and slow unfolding over sudden transformation. As a quasar settles into this later stretch of its existence, the system around it feels increasingly composed, as though every component has learned its place within a long-established arrangement. The flow of matter toward the central black hole continues at a gentle, reliable pace, neither increasing nor diminishing suddenly. This steadiness allows the quasar to remain luminous without effort, sustained by balance rather than urgency. The surrounding space reflects this calm persistence. Gas and dust move along paths shaped long ago by gravity, repeating their motions without deviation. These repeating patterns give the region a sense of familiarity, where nothing surprises and nothing needs to adjust quickly. The environment feels settled, supported by forces that change only over immense spans of time. The accretion disk maintains its smooth, layered form. Inner regions continue to glow softly as energy is released through friction, while outer regions drift more slowly, anchoring the system in stability. This gentle gradient of motion distributes energy evenly, preventing stress or instability from building within the disk. Light leaving the quasar during this stage travels outward with quiet consistency. It does not surge or fade abruptly, but spreads gradually across space, becoming softer as distance increases. This gradual dispersion allows the universe to absorb the light naturally, preserving the overall stillness of vast intergalactic regions. The timescale of this phase is so long that it reshapes how change is perceived. Thousands of years pass without noticeable difference, and even millions of years bring only subtle shifts. This extended duration removes the idea of urgency entirely, allowing the quasar's activity to feel like a constant background presence rather than a dynamic event. Gravity continues to act as a steady guide, maintaining loose alignment among stars, gas, and dust within the host galaxy. It does not demand rapid movement or dramatic rearrangement. Instead, it supports a quiet order where structures remain stable and motion unfolds slowly. Magnetic fields persist quietly, threading through the quasar's environment as subtle frameworks. Their influence is calm and even, guiding charged particles along smooth, invisible paths. These fields help preserve organization without creating tension, allowing the surrounding space to remain peaceful. The energy output of the quasar blends fully into the broader conditions of the galaxy. It no longer stands out as a defining feature, but becomes part of the steady environment that shapes slow galactic evolution. This blending allows change to occur gently, without sharp transitions or disruption. The light reaching distant observers from this stage of a quasar's life feels softened by time itself. It arrives after travelling through billions of years of silence, carrying information without urgency. This long journey gives the light a quiet authority, shaped by patience rather than immediacy. In this phase, the quasar exists as an expression of endurance. It continues to shine through balance maintained over immense periods, guided by simple physical laws that do not hurry. Within a universe that favours continuity over sudden change, the quasar holds its place calmly, offering a steady presence as time continues its slow, gentle flow. As a quasar continues through this later portion of its long life, its activity becomes almost indistinguishable from the steady background of the universe itself. The flow of matter toward the central black hole remains gentle and regulated, guided by gravity that has found a lasting balance. Nothing accelerates, nothing collapses, and the system continues quietly, sustained by conditions that have remained stable for ages. The surrounding space feels settled, as though it has adapted fully to the quasar's presence. Gas and dust no longer shift in noticeable ways, instead following slow, familiar paths shaped long ago. These motions repeat softly, creating an environment where change is so gradual that it feels like stillness rather than movement. The accretion disk maintains its structure with remarkable consistency. Inner regions continue to release energy smoothly as matter spirals inward, while outer regions provide calm support through slower motion. This layered organization allows the disk to persist without turbulence, distributing energy evenly and preserving long-term stability. Light leaving the quasar during this stage spreads outward in a calm, continuous flow. There are no sudden variations in brightness, only a steady emission that gradually softens as it travels through space. This gentle dispersal allows the universe to absorb the light naturally, without disturbance or imbalance. Time itself seems to stretch in this phase of the quasar's existence. Years pass unnoticed, and even centuries bring little visible change. This immense scale of duration removes any sense of urgency, allowing the quasar's activity to feel timeless, as though it has always been present and will continue without effort. Gravity remains a quiet organizer, maintaining predictable orbits and gentle alignment within the host galaxy. Stars continue their slow paths, and gas clouds drift calmly, unaffected by sudden shifts. This steady gravitational influence supports harmony rather than motion, keeping everything comfortably in place. Magnetic fields persist as subtle, stabilizing patterns woven through this quasar's environment. The influence is smooth and restrained, guiding charged particles without creating agitation. These invisible structures help maintain order quietly, allowing stillness to remain the dominant experience. The energy released by the quasar becomes fully woven into the galaxy's overall conditions. It no longer feels separate or pronounced, but part of the steady environment that shapes slow galactic evolution. This integration allows the galaxy to change gradually, without sharp transitions or strain. The light arriving from this stage of a quasar's life carries the softness of deep time. It has travelled for billions of years through silence, arriving without urgency or demand. Its presence feels calm, offering information gently rather than insisting on attention. In this phase, the quasar stands as a quiet expression of continuity. It shines not through force, but through balance maintained over immense spans of time. Guided by simple physical laws and sustained by patience, it remains a steady presence within a universe that values calm progression, enduring stability, and the gentle unfolding of time. As a quasar moves into this later and quieter stretch of its existence, the entire system feels deeply settled, as though every motion has found its most comfortable pace. The inward movement of matter toward the central black hole continues smoothly, guided by gravity that neither tightens nor relaxes abruptly. This gentle flow sustains the quasar's light without strain, allowing it to remain present without drawing attention to itself. The space surrounding the quasar is fully adapted to its steady influence. Gas clouds no longer rearrange in noticeable ways, and dust follows slow, familiar paths that have remained unchanged for vast periods of time. These repeating motions give the region a sense of calm familiarity, where change happens so gradually that it feels like a natural extension of stillness. The accretion disk remains stable and well organized, its structure preserved by long-established physical balance. Inner regions continue to glow softly as energy is released through friction, while outer regions move more slowly, anchoring the system in quiet stability. This layered harmony allows the disk to endure without turbulence, distributing energy evenly across time. Light leaving the quasar during this phase spreads outward in an unbroken continuous stream. There are no sharp variations in brightness, only a steady emission that gradually softens as distance increases. As the light travels, it blends gently into the surrounding darkness, becoming part of the universe's calm background rather than standing apart from it. Time feels especially expansive here. Thousands of years pass without noticeable change, and even millions of years bring only subtle shifts. This immense scale removes any sense of urgency or progression, allowing the quasar's activity to feel timeless, as though it exists comfortably outside the need for beginnings or endings. Gravity continues its role as a quiet guide rather than a force of action. It maintains predictable orbits for stars and gentle alignment for gas within the host galaxy. Nothing is pulled suddenly inward, and nothing is pushed away. This steady influence allows the entire region to remain composed and balanced. Magnetic fields persist as soft, stabilizing frameworks woven invisibly through the quasar's environment. Their influence remains even and restrained, guiding charged particles along smooth paths without creating disturbance. These unseen patterns quietly support order while allowing stillness to dominate the experience of space. The energy released by the quasar has now fully merged into the broader conditions of the galaxy. It no longer feels distinct or pronounced, but contributes quietly to the environment that shapes slow galactic evolution. This blending allows change to occur gently, without disruption or strain, honouring the universe's preference for gradual adjustment. The light reaching distant observers from this stage of a quasar's life carries the calm imprint of deep time. It has travelled for billions of years through silence, crossing immense distances without interruption. Its arrival feels gentle and unhurried, offering a quiet connection to the early universe without demanding attention. In this final stretch of calm persistence, the quasar exists as an expression of endurance rather than intensity. It continues to shine through balance maintained over unimaginable spans of time, guided by simple physical laws that never rush. Within a universe that favours patience, stability, and slow unfolding, the quasar holds its place quietly, allowing everything around it to remain calm, steady, and at rest. As a quasar continues into this deeply settled phase of its existence, its presence feels almost inseparable from the quiet structure of the universe itself. The steady flow of matter toward the central black hole remains gentle and unhurried, shaped by gravity that has found a lasting equilibrium. Nothing accelerates, nothing resists, and the system continues without effort, sustained by balance rather than momentum. The surrounding space has fully adjusted to this steady source of light. Gas and dust move along paths that have been repeated for millions of years, tracing slow arcs that rarely change. These familiar motions give the region a sense of comfort, where the environment no longer responds but simply exists in harmony with the quasar's constant glow. The accretion disk remains smooth and composed, its structure preserved by long-established physical rules. Inner regions release energy softly as material spirals inward, while outer regions move more slowly, providing stability and support. This layered motion distributes energy evenly across time, preventing stress and allowing the system to remain calm and enduring. Light leaving the quasar during this period flows outward in a continuous, unbroken stream. It does not surge or fade suddenly, but spreads gradually across space, becoming softer with distance. As it travels, it merges quietly with the darkness, contributing to the universe's gentle background illumination rather than standing apart. Time feels especially vast in this stage. Centuries pass without visible change, and even thousands of years leave the quasar much as it was before. This immense scale removes any sense of progression or urgency, allowing the quasar's activity to feel timeless, as though it belongs naturally to the fabric of the cosmos. Gravity continues to guide matter with a steady, reassuring presence. Stars in the host galaxy maintain their slow, predictable orbits, and gas clouds drift calmly without being drawn into sudden motion. This gentle gravitational balance supports harmony rather than change, keeping everything comfortably aligned. Magnetic fields persist as subtle, stabilizing patterns woven invisibly through the quasar's environment. Their influence is smooth and restrained, guiding charged particles along quiet paths without creating turbulence. These unseen frameworks help preserve order, while allowing stillness to remain dominant. The energy released by the quasar has become fully integrated into the surrounding galaxy. It no longer feels distinct or pronounced, but contributes quietly to the conditions that shape slow galactic evolution. This integration allows the galaxy to change gradually, without sharp transitions or strain, honouring the universe's preference for patience. The light reaching distant observers from this stage carries the calm signature of deep time. It has travelled for billions of years through silence, crossing vast expanses without interruption. Its arrival feels gentle and unhurried, offering a quiet connection to the early universe without demanding attention or focus. In this extended phase of quiet endurance, the quasar exists as a symbol of sustained balance. It continues to shine not through force, but through conditions that remain aligned over immense spans of time. Guided by simple physical laws and supported by patience, it holds its place calmly within a universe that values continuity, stability, and the slow, peaceful unfolding of existence. As a quasar continues through this even later stretch of its long existence, its presence feels increasingly gentle, as though it has fully settled into the background rhythm of the universe. The steady flow of matter toward the central black hole persists without urgency, guided by gravity that has remained unchanged for ages. Nothing accelerates, nothing resists, and the system maintains itself with quiet confidence. The space around the quasar has long since adapted to its constant light. Gas and dust no longer shift in noticeable ways, but move along familiar paths traced countless times before. These repeated motions give the region a sense of ease, where nothing feels new or demanding, and change unfolds so slowly it blends into stillness. The accretion disk continues its calm rotation, each layer moving at a pace suited to its position. Inner regions glow softly as energy is released through friction, while outer regions drift more slowly, providing balance and support. This layered motion distributes energy evenly, preventing strain and allowing the disk to remain stable over immense spans of time. Light leaving the quasar during this stage spreads outward in a smooth, continuous flow. There are no sudden variations in brightness, only a steady emission that gradually softens as it travels through space. As distance increases, the light blends gently into the surrounding darkness, becoming part of the universe's quiet background. Time feels especially expansive here. Decades, centuries, and even millennia pass without noticeable change. This immense scale removes any sense of progression or anticipation, allowing the quasar's activity to feel timeless, as though it belongs naturally to the universe's enduring structure. Gravity continues to act as a calm organizer rather than a force of disruption. Stars within the host galaxy follow predictable orbits that do not require adjustment, and gas clouds drift gently without being pulled into sudden motion. This steady influence preserves harmony, keeping everything comfortably aligned. Magnetic fields remain woven through the quasar's environment as subtle, stabilizing frameworks. Their influence is smooth and restrained, guiding charged particles along invisible paths without creating turbulence. These unseen structures quietly support order while allowing stillness to dominate. The energy released by the quasar has fully merged into the broader conditions of the galaxy. It no longer stands out as a defining feature, but contributes quietly to the environment that shapes slow galactic evolution. This blending allows change to occur gently, without sharp transitions or strain. The light arriving from this stage of a quasar's life carries the softness of deep time. It has travelled through billions of years of silence, crossing vast distances without interruption. Its arrival feels calm and unhurried, offering a quiet connection to the distant past without demanding attention. In this phase of extended calm, the quasar exists as an expression of quiet endurance. It continues to shine through balance maintained over unimaginable spans of time, guided by simple physical laws that never rush. Within a universe that favours patience and continuity, the quasar holds its place gently, allowing everything around it to remain steady, open, and at rest. A quasar continues to exist as a calm, steady source of light because the balance between gravity and motion remains intact over immense spans of time. Nothing about this balance requires urgency. Matter moves inward at a pace the system can sustain, and energy leaves just as smoothly, allowing the quasar to remain luminous without strain or disruption. The space surrounding a quasar feels settled, as though it has fully adjusted to this long-standing presence. Gas and dust no longer react but simply coexist, following slow paths shaped long ago. This sense of familiarity allows the region to feel quiet and composed, with no need for further adjustment. The accretion disk maintains its form through repetition rather than force. Each orbit mirrors the last, and each layer supports the next. This repetition creates stability, allowing energy to be released evenly while preventing turbulence from building within the system. Light. Leaving the quasar during these later stages travels without interruption. It moves through vast regions of emptiness where nothing alters its path. This uninterrupted journey reinforces the feeling that the universe offers space for things to exist without interference. Time stretches gently around a quasar. Thousands of years pass without noticeable change, and even millions of years bring only subtle shifts. This extended duration allows the quasar's presence to feel constant, like a background element woven into the universe itself. Gravity near a quasar acts with restraint rather than force. It maintains alignment without collapse, guiding motion without pulling too strongly. This gentle influence keeps the system calm, ensuring that surrounding structures remain stable and undisturbed. Magnetic fields continue their quiet role, shaping motion subtly without drawing attention. Their influence remains steady and predictable, helping maintain order while allowing stillness to dominate the environment. The energy released by a quasar becomes part of the galaxy's overall balance. Rather than standing out, it blends into the conditions that guide slow galactic evolution. This blending allows change to occur gently, without sharp transitions. The light we receive from quasars today has travelled through billions of years of silence. That silence becomes part of the message itself, reminding us that distance and time can soften even the brightest sources into something calm and distant. In this enduring phase, a quasar feels less like an object and more like a state of being. It exists through balance, repetition, and patience, quietly illuminating the universe while asking nothing in return, allowing everything around it to remain calm, steady, and at rest. A quasar remains steady because the flow of matter feeding it naturally limits itself. As material moves inward, some energy is released outward in a way that gently slows further in fall. This self-regulating balance keeps the system calm, preventing sudden changes and allowing light to be produced at a pace the universe can easily absorb. The region around a quasar becomes a place of long familiarity. Over millions of years, nearby gas and dust adapt completely to its presence, no longer responding as if something new is happening. This adaptation creates an environment where everything feels settled, as though the quasar has always been there and always will be. The motion within a quasar's accretion disk follows paths that repeat with quiet precision. Each orbit traces a familiar curve, and each rotation supports the next. This repetition removes uncertainty, allowing the system to remain stable without requiring constant adjustment. Light emitted by a quasar does not seek attention as it travels. It moves silently through immense distances, passing through regions where nothing interacts with it at all. This long, uninterrupted journey allows brightness to feel gentle by the time it reaches faraway observers. The immense scale of a quasar's lifetime softens every process associated with it. What might seem active on short timescales becomes calm when stretched across millions of years. This stretching of time transforms motion into patience and change into continuity. Gravity near a quasar maintains a careful balance between holding and allowing. It keeps matter connected without pulling it too tightly inward. This balance ensures that the surrounding galaxy remains stable, free from sudden rearrangements or collapse. Magnetic fields around quasars act quietly, shaping motion without noise or disruption. Their influence remains smooth and predictable, guiding particles along invisible paths that preserve order while allowing stillness to remain dominant. The energy released by a quasar gradually becomes indistinguishable from the background conditions of the galaxy. Rather than standing apart, it contributes quietly to the environment that shapes slow, steady galactic evolution. The light from quasars carries information from the early universe without urgency. It arrives long after it was emitted, unchanged by its journey. This delayed arrival encourages a slower way of understanding, one that aligns with the universe's patient pace. In this ongoing calm, a quasar exists as a reminder that endurance does not require force. It shines through balance, repetition, and time, remaining present without demanding attention, and allowing the universe around it to stay quiet, steady, and deeply at ease. A quasar continues to shine because the forces within it remain carefully balanced over immense periods of time. Gravity draws material inward, while energy released through light and radiation gently counteracts that pull. This balance does not fluctuate quickly. It settles into a long-lasting state where nothing needs to be corrected or adjusted, allowing the system to exist calmly without strain. The space surrounding a quasar gradually becomes one of deep familiarity. Over millions of years, nearby gas and dust learn the steady patterns of light and gravity, responding only in subtle ways. This long adjustment period removes any sense of disturbance, leaving behind an environment that feels composed and quietly stable. The accretion disk behaves like a slow, enduring flow rather than a place of conflict. Each particle follows a path shaped by predictable physical laws, repeating its motion countless times. This repetition creates reliability, where motion no longer signals change, but continuity. Light leaving a quasar does not rush through space. It moves at a constant speed, crossing vast, empty regions where nothing interrupts its journey. This uninterrupted travel allows the light to feel softened by distance and time, arriving as a calm presence rather than a force. The immense duration of a quasar's life transforms activity into stillness when viewed on a human scale. Processes that take millions of years unfold so slowly that they feel almost motionless. This slow unfolding allows the quasar to exist without urgency, encouraging a sense of patience and ease. Gravity near a quasar acts gently, maintaining structure without forcing motion. Stars in the host galaxy remain on stable paths, and gas clouds drift slowly without sudden collapse or dispersal. This gentle guidance keeps the entire system calm and predictable. Magnetic fields remain present as quiet organizers. They guide charged particles along smooth, invisible lines without creating turbulence or noise. Their steady influence supports order while allowing the surrounding space to remain peaceful. The energy released by a quasar spreads thinly across enormous volumes of space. As it disperses, it loses any sense of intensity, becoming part of the universe's background conditions. This gentle dispersal ensures that nothing nearby is overwhelmed or disturbed. The light we observe from quasars today left its source billions of years ago. During that time, it travelled through silence, unaffected by events along the way. This long, quiet journey gives the light a sense of calm endurance, shaped more by time than by brightness. In this extended state of balance, a quasar feels less like an object and more like a quiet process. It exists through repetition, patience, and steady physical law, illuminating the universe gently while allowing everything around it to remain calm, stable, and at rest. As this gentle journey through the quiet nature of quasars begins to settle into stillness, there is nothing left to follow and nothing left to hold in mind. The universe can continue its slow rhythm on its own, allowing distant light to travel patiently through space without needing your attention. You may notice your thoughts becoming softer now, less defined, like faint light blending into the darkness between galaxies. That easing is natural. Just as quasars shine steadily without urgency, the mind does not need to arrive anywhere or resolve anything. Everything important can remain exactly as it is. Let your breathing stay unforced and easy, rising and falling in its own calm pattern. Let your body rest where it is, supported by stillness rather than effort. Imagine the vast distances these ancient lights have crossed, moving quietly through silence, unchanged by time. Quasars remind us that endurance does not require intensity, and brightness does not require noise. Even the most luminous objects in the universe exist through balance, patience, and steady physical law. In that balance, rest becomes possible. Thank you for spending this time with the Sleepy Scientist. Whenever the world feels loud or the mind feels full, you're always welcome to return to these peaceful explorations where science moves slowly and curiosity can rest. For now, allow the quiet to remain, let the distant glow continue beyond awareness, and let whatever comes next arrive naturally, without needing to be noticed at all.